Okay. So, I was going to do my review of John Wick 3 tonight, but then the internet decided to blow up. um, so, it's been reported that Robert Pattinson is cast as Bruce Wayne in Matt Reeves' The Batman. I have some thoughts on this, and you guys are probably going to think that, oh, you just don't like this because he's Edward from Twilight. Not necessarily. I mean, that was my first initial thought. I'm not gonna lie. Like, why would they pick Edward from Twilight? But I decided to push my masculinity aside for a second because I definitely just wanted to process it. He's a good actor. Let me start off by what I know about this film thus far before we get into that. I've been really looking forward to Matt Reeves' The Batman. Very, very excited ever since I saw Ben Affleck as Batman and Batman v Superman. I've stated in the past that I don't really like that film. There's visual aspects of it that I really appreciate. There's scenes I really appreciate, but overall as a film, I think it's very broken. I know there's stuff to appreciate from a symbolic point of view. I understand that completely, but that movie could have been so much better. There's stuff that they could have left out, and I don't like Batman v Superman. I apologize. I think there's better DC films out there. There have been better DC films since. I just do not like Batman v Superman, but the parts of Batman v Superman that I do like are Ben Affleck's character. I really enjoyed his Bruce Wayne, his Batman, even though he killed. I think he supplied with a lot of good scenes overall. Very close to Batman Arkham Knight. The combat's great. It's definitely better than the Dark Knight where he's just having to like do these motions and stuff. There's actual combat. He's like going at it. So I really liked Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman. So when I heard back when the Batman was in development and Ben Affleck was going to be directing it, I was excited. Then he stepped back. He stepped down. He wasn't going to be directing it. That was probably because at the time he was very unsure if he wanted to be committed to this character. Whenever an actor is committed to a superhero, that's the only thing he's going to be really known for. That's why Marvel actors are so reluctant as to being these superheroes, especially Chris Evans at the time when he became Captain America. He almost didn't do it because of the amount of films that he knew he was going to have to do. He almost didn't do it, but he did do it, and ever since then he has had no regrets whatsoever. He's loved being Captain America. However, with Ben Affleck, I'm sure that he's been pretty apprehensive because of the state of the DCEU. So I understand where he was coming from at the time when he stepped down as Batman. He was thinking about maybe still portraying him, but at the time he stepped down. Then they hired Matt Reeves, and I was super excited because Matt Reeves directed Cloverfield. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. One of them. It's not my favorite, but I love it. I think it's my favorite found footage movie. I remember just loving it as a kid. And he also directed like the modern day Planet of the Apes movie, so he's a good director. I was just excited that like the Batman had a good director. Regardless if Ben Affleck was going to be a part of it or not, Matt Reeves is still a good director, and I just wanted to see where he would take this character. Now, it's been a couple years since Matt Reeves was announced as the director, and they have yet to announce if Ben Affleck was going to be portraying Batman or if they were just going to be recasting. This is what I think is happening thus far in terms of what the internet has stated. Basically, after Justice League kind of failed, let's be honest. So after that movie, they've been really apprehensive about doing some DC films. They are thinking about maybe doing The Flash, but definitely on Batman, because Batman is such a well-known character. And they announced, I think it was like late last year or this year, that they were just going to be recasting him. And I think from my understanding was that they were going to be casting a younger actor for Bruce Wayne. And now they have decided to cast Robert Pattinson. Let's talk about this. In terms of what they were going for, I think it's good. If they wanted a younger Bruce Wayne, if that's what they really wanted, I think Robert Pattinson is a good fit. I think he's a very sleek actor. You can see in this Photoshop photo, I think this is from Boss Logic. He's one of my favorite graphic designers. He looks like Bruce Wayne, a younger Bruce Wayne, I mean, at least. What I've noticed too, and this has been since Ben Affleck, they've been really casting well-known names for Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne is a prominent figure in Gotham. Paparazzi are around him all the time, so I get it. It makes sense that they would cast like a well-known figure to play a fictional well-known figure in the movies. I don't know. I just think that's kind of irrelevant. I kind of look at it as like you should just hire someone who's good at acting to play a character. You shouldn't just hire an actor because they're well known and famous to play a fictional well known. It just doesn't correlate. It's irrelevant if they're well known in the world. That being said, though, I mean, I know Robert Pattinson is from Twilight. I want to push that aside real quick, though. I think he's a good actor. Definitely better than Kristen Stewart. So I understand why they wanted to do that. It's not necessarily the person that they casted, it's why they casted the person that I have a problem with. So basically what this means is if they're casting a younger Bruce Wayne who becomes Batman, this is just going to be another origin story. And I have a problem with that. I feel as though they really need to stop doing these origin stories for the character. There's so much. We understand who Batman is. Like in Batman v Superman, his parents were killed, he became Batman, and we don't need another origin story to showcase him going to Ra's al Ghul and being trained and becoming Batman Begins already did that. We don't need that. We just don't. And we had a show called Gotham, which I never watched. I mean, I'm sure it was good. A lot of people told me that it was good, but I'm just not interested in superhero shows about a superhero, but the superhero actually isn't in the show, or maybe it's just like a prequel, I'd rather just them make a Batman show. Actually, you know what? I take that back because CW's weird. That's why I never really watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's Marvel. I'm just not interested in superhero universe shows that don't have the superheroes in them, or prequels. Smallville is an exception because that's like a character analysis of like a kid who knows that he has to become Superman. At least that's something. The point I'm trying to get at is we have already seen younger interpretations of this character Bruce Wayne. Why in the world are we still getting this kind of stuff? We've already seen the origin story hundreds of times. Why is this a thing now? It just feels too safe, in my opinion. It feels like they were unaware if Ben Affleck was still going to be Bruce Wayne in the future. So they decided to make a prequel. They decided to make a younger version of the character, if that's actually what they're going for. And it just feels like they're being too safe. I feel as though if they really don't feel confident that he's going to stay, they should just reboot the character. There have been many recastings of Batman in the past. Why don't they just recast him again? He's like James Bond, pretty much. And Spider-Man. Just recast the character. If you feel uncomfortable with the fact that, like, he might not be returning, I feel as though that recasting is, the best idea. You don't have to reboot the franchise. You don't have to reboot the DCEU. Just recast him. If you're not sure that he's going to be here anymore, just, find another actor. This just feels like they didn't know. Like, ooh, is he going to stay? Is he not? For now, let's just do a prequel. And that's the problem that I have, is that the DCEU isn't willing to take that next step, really. It feels like they should just let him go. I just don't want another origin story, if that's the case here. That's pretty much why. If you think about it in the long run, that is why they're casting a younger Bruce Wayne, is because we're getting another origin story. The DCEU, except for like other films like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam, have been really disappointing as of late in terms of the Batman universe. It just feels really odd that we got a Batman v Superman movie before an actual Batman movie. I feel as though what they really should have done was make a Man of Steel movie, which they did. They made a standalone Superman movie, then make a Batman movie, and then made Batman v Superman, because that would have been impactful to see these characters that we would have already been introduced to coming together in one movie. I feel as though that should have been done, but because DCEU was trying to verse Marvel and they wanted to make a universe, they skipped all of that and made Batman v Superman. And it does feel kind of weird too that like they went ahead and also made a Suicide Squad movie, which is based in kind of like the Gotham realm with Harley Quinn and Joker, and now we're getting a Birds of Prey movie. It just feels like there's all of this stuff that's happening in the Batman universe, and we don't even have a definitive Batman movie yet. That is a problem. When you don't have a good standalone Batman movie in your DCEU, and you're making all of this stuff centered around the character Batman, all these supporting characters, that is flawed, in my opinion. I think you just need to go ahead and make a present-day Batman movie, just push Ben Affleck aside, cast a really good actor like John Hamm. He would have been perfect, but you guys missed the opportunity. So yes, guys, those are my thoughts of Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne in The Batman. I think he's going to do a good job. I think he's a good actor for what they're doing. I just wish that this isn't what they were doing. I wish that they would just do a good modern day Batman movie. That's all I'm saying. We don't need another origin story. We just need a good Batman movie, and then you can make all these spin-offs based around the character. And yeah, that's what we need. Comment down below what you think of this. Like this video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk if you haven't yet for more movie news, movie reviews, gaming content, and so on. And stay tuned for my review of John Wick 3 tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. I am Corbett Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.